Welcome to the Media Chat Room. We interview trailblazers and industry leaders who are making a difference. Brought to you by Good Talent Media.
Welcome to the Media Chat Room. It's great to have your company. I'm joined by Jelena, Arvamovic, one of our account directors at GTM. Thanks for joining us, Jelena.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me.
What a great chat with Avi Efrat with fantastic framing. He's a CEO, he's a founder. He's been in business for almost 20 years. And we go to Israel, we go to Perth, we're up and down the eastern seaboard. He's a great talker.
Oh, he's such a great talker, Tony. And I think he's just such a champion of other artists, of other businesses. He's just a great guy all around.
Could you believe his career started door knocking? And,
I know.
He's out of uni. He builds a national business which has international influence. He's creating this conduit for artists who aren't business savvy, let's be honest, to sell their art. I mean, it really is the art of doing business.
Oh, completely. I think when I first heard his story, it was so compelling. But genuinely, I think he is an entrepreneur, but he's so passionate about sharing that knowledge with other artists and really empowering them to mirror the creative with the business side of things in order to grow their business.
He also has his own ethnic story as an Israeli man, a Jewish man who's been through a very troubling time, as has the whole world. He takes us into all of that. Very open-hearted and authentic chat. Thanks for facilitating it, Jelena. Let's have a chat with Avi now. So we're so pumped here in the Media Chat Room to be bringing you some of our favourite clients, and we've got one of our favourite CEO and founders in Avi Efrat, and Avi founded Fantastic Framing almost 20 years ago. The journey goes so quick, doesn't it, Avi? And Jelena joins us from the Good Talent team, one of our dedicated account directors looking after Avi. And Avi, actually, you're a fellow podcaster, aren't you? Like the art of doing business. I mean, you're very familiar to screens like this.
Definitely. I'm enjoying to do the podcast. I'm learning as I go. I'm very hungry for information, and I want to give as well lots of exposure to my clients to, the wider network. So definitely it's very nice to be over here with you guys in your podcast, and to jam with you a bit.
Yeah. Well, Jelena, I guess that's what we're doing, isn't it? And you've picked Avi because he's got a big personality. He's got an exciting brand. He's doing great things. And tell me, what do you think stands out about Avi with his mindset and the way he runs his business?
Yeah, completely. I think what stands out about Avi is you encompass so many different areas of business. It's you and your personal business story, the fact that you started out door knocking to now having 12 shops across the country. Like, that's so compelling as an SME. So that backstory, I think the way that you love to work with artists, making art more accessible, championing small business. I think there's that's what I love working with you over these last few months, has been telling all those different areas, I think, of your brand story.
There's not too many business owners that can boast door knocking as the start of their sales career. But I tell you what, whoever has done it and ended up big, we know about it, like the Jerry Harveys, for example. Some of the most successful people in the country started off door-to-door salespeople. I remember running into a very successful business person, and he was door-to-door selling vacuum cleaners, I think it was. And he went out. And, he's on the road, like this is way before any sort of technology, and the office never heard from him for 2 or 3 weeks. He had his truck full of vacuum cleaners, and they just assumed that he stole the truck, and, he was a terrible hire. But it turned out this guy, by himself, 2 to 3 weeks on the road, emptied several trucks of vacuum cleaners. He was so good. And he didn't want to go back to the office because business was going so well. But tell me, Avi, what do you learn from, or what character do you bring to door knocking to help you convert?
Yeah, look, I think the best thing that you can learn from door knocking, first of all, is discipline. Discipline is the most important thing. And as well, rejection. Many people are very scared from rejection. How can you react? So I'll be honest with you that the first week was really bad for me. I actually felt very awkward. It wasn't my space. But then you understand, hey, I actually can see now it works like 2 out of 100 or 1 out of 100 or 5 out of 100. There is a good conversation. They love the product. They love the idea. And you understand that, nobody needs to affect your mood or change. You need to be focused on what you're doing. Another thing that I learned as well with the door-to-door is the type of people, okay? So from the first 30 seconds that you meet a person, you can see the type. There is type A, there is type B, there is type C, there is type D, and you actually learn people, and it's a very nice journey to learn the type of the people and how you as an individual can connect to them and to transfer them a message in the most effective way. And I think because I did door knocking, it made me as a stronger person in a later stage in my journey. It's very hard to break me.
Actually, that's a question I got further down, actually. Avi, how do we break you?
Yeah.
But you're so right. Like, I do think everyone's a psychologist, right? We're all reading body language. Absolutely. I mean, I know myself, like way before I get to a resume, I'm looking at a photo, I'm speaking on the phone, I'm assessing vibe. And Jelena, do you think in business that's a huge factor? It's vibe or X factor, or what? It's what's not being said that's the most important thing in an interaction.
Oh, completely. And I think I think the stat is something like 40% is, what you say, and then the rest is actually everything else, isn't it, Tony? It's the body language, it's all these social cues. And I think it's so interesting, even when we're talking about, Avi's start with door knocking. We were talking about this morning, Avi, and, you were saying how actually it's in doing that you're getting that live feedback, aren't you? Like in the moment.
100%. Yeah.
And I think that you were just explaining that was probably so powerful about when it came to door knocking and starting your business out, was like, okay, is it a yes or is it a genuine yes? And you know what I mean? You can kind of tell that very much in the moment from those interactions.
You learn a lot about people. This is definitely, I would want that my kids will go and do door knocking by far. I would want to do them, not like for one day. I would want them to do it for 6 months or for a year, just to get a bit of spice, in their personality. So definitely I'm a big believer of face-to-face and internet. This is the marketing, and I'm a marketer, with the business. So definitely I'm trying to implement the face-to-face, and relationship. And definitely I think when you do door-to-door, you build relationship, and then they refer you to the sister and to the mom that live on the other side of the road, and you learn those values and principle of what driving people. And then when you go out and you start to open one shop or 2 shops or 3 shops, it's you understand it better. You understand the big picture better. And this is what was so exciting, on this journey to do it. And I don't regret. Sometimes people, I ask them, how was it to do door knock? Oh my God, it's so hard. How did you do it? No, I actually enjoyed it. And then the journey took me to, hey, can I come to you? 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 I said, okay, I think we need to start to open a location, and then we start to open a store.
Because data's everything now, right? Like data's gold. Everyone talks about data, and we get data to help make good decisions. And you talk about feedback, because door knocking is action that leads to data, that leads to feedback, which is your data in the moment. And what amazes me is that people are obsessed with perfectionism, getting it right before you do anything. Kind of getting it right before you do anything is almost a data-free zone in a way, because you're not testing anything. So like I like the huge amount of action that door knocking must have taken, because it's feedback in the moment, develop your products, change in the moment or door to door in order to get better and better.
I'll give you even an example of that was very, very difficult, that people don't think about it. But let's say so now it's rainy and you are a team of 7 or 8 people and you need to drive now to a 50 minutes drive, but it's rainy. And everybody, maybe we stay, we don't go. So it's as well leadership. Meaning, guys, it's raining, it's showers, it's comes, it's go. We go. If it will not be rainy, we go. If not, and sometimes when it's a little bit rainy and you do knock on the door, they want to listen to you more. They want to listen to you more. So you have to make an action. You have to be consistent. You can't wait at some kind of a magic. You need to create the opportunity. And this is what taught me in a principle that you have to be, like you said, Tony. You have to be active. If you just stay and you don't do this, nothing will happen. you
Well,
know?
people are too afraid of making mistakes. So that's the big caution against action. I might make an error. So it really comes down to values. But you're very interesting to us because you're a get up and go client. You know, basically the angles we create, you're away, reactive media, proactive media. So Jelena, what's it like being on this brand building journey with Avi?
Oh, I think you're spot on, Tony. I think it's the fact that there's so many opportunities. It's petrol prices are going up. You know, Avi, what's the knock-on effect on your business? Can we put you forward to comment on that? Come end of financial year, tax time. Can you comment on that? Then a new store's opening. I think that's the thing with Avi. It's like looking for all those opportunities and the fingers on the pulse, right? I think one of our recent pictures that we did was the Olympics and the spirit of the Olympics. And basically I said to Avi, do we have some data? Do we have some stats that we can put forward? And Avi said, yep, I'm going to see an increase in people framing Olympics memorabilia. It always happens when there's a big cultural moment. Yeah, it's being able to also like have your finger on the pulse, what's happening in the news, and how can we then be part of that?
How have you enjoyed the brand building journey, Avi? Like, you've been everywhere. We've had you in the media everywhere.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's definitely build up credibility, for your brand. It's all about brand. You need to invest time in brand, and like it's not like you're doing all the like ads which is paid. It's more like they are reading on you, so it's more, I would say, credible, or that this is not paid. Like this is basically. And look, sometimes it can be a bit more quiet, sometimes it can be more busy because it's things that are happening in the market. So if there is a big, I'm just giving an example, election, so it will be maybe harder to push you into this, all the media. But sometimes, like now you mentioned the petrol prices, so it was a good opportunity to share it. And even when you have a message, like it was great. I think what I did enjoy with you, Tony, which was really, really good, that I came to you and I said to you, look, if I'm going to go to be on the TV, look, I have like my accent, like I don't know how to speak. And then you said, look, Avi, we do like training for, how to speak, and then you recorded. I called one of my senior guys in the company. We came to the North Sydney office, and it was very educational as well for me, not only how to speak, but it's like about life, how to transfer a message, that even if they ask you a question, you can start to answer, but straight away you go to your point where you want to be. So for me, it's like I'm already with you a few years, like I don't know, 3 years or 4 years. I don't even remember how long it is. But definitely, if a brand want to be more out there and they are patient is very, very important, because some people want to see it now, like it happened fast, but sometimes it takes time to pitch, like do reactive and things like this. And in the first 6 months, I didn't understand it, but now I'm more educated. So I'm more aware of the process of how it has been done.
Have you ever had that feeling, that 24-hour feeling that the tax man's putting his hands in every pocket, always on the take? Yes, that sinking feeling when he seems to be vacuuming up all your hard-earned cash. Well, it's time to switch things up. At Tax Talk, we move you from that taxiety feeling to becoming tax savvy. Tax Talk can help you turbocharge your results, improve your financial intelligence, and you'll certainly stop leaving money on the tax man's table. It's not just about saving a few dollars. It's about grabbing the opportunity for a better result. You can think of Tax Talk as your personal tax Yoda, helping you navigate a better way forward. Why let the tax man have all the fun? Remember, at Tax Talk, we remove your taxiety.
You're a very natural marketer. I think business owners you're entrepreneurial, so you're a natural marketer. Take us through those guerrilla marketing tactics that you've always used, that you always know work and you think might benefit some listeners.
Look, I tell people, I had today a talk with a very big client of mine, and I said, when you're thinking about marketing, you need to think like a square or triangle. So one side is, your ads. One side is your email marketing. One side is SMS. One side is PR. So each side, and you need to surround your people. Some people are thinking, oh, it can be like a little bit like annoying that you are sending those emails or those, the ads are jumping, but people need to see you like 9 times, 10 times, 11 times. And sometimes, you know, you are very busy in life. Now you don't want to buy these photos of the family, but when I remind you now, and I remind you another time, and I remind you another time, and I remind you another time, then when you're ready, you know, I was there in the back of your mind. So it's all about repetition, and you cannot say all the time the same message. You need to change it. So for example, after Christmas, January or February, you can't show the same ads. You need to do a new stock, a new material, a new clothing, a new makeup, a new artwork, a new frame. So it's called like a drop, you know? But in the end of the day, sometimes when I go even to a trade show, it's another triangle or another border that you surround the people. So they saw on the newspaper, they saw on the ads, they get an email, they got maybe an SMS for a massive, you know, like Black Friday sale. They are going to a trade show and they see you. Those guys, they are doing something right, you know? And this is where they can have an easier decision, even to spend with you, you know, 200 or even 3,000 or even 5,000, only because you are trying, you are a small to medium business. And I think this is the marketing mind that I have when I'm thinking and speaking to other business owners or my clients that they sell their products. So I want them to succeed. You know, I want to share with them the information because their success is my success.
I think that's a great point, Jelena. I think this is legitimacy. So you've got an entrepreneurial business owner here who really cares. He's trying to make his community happy, provide an incredible service. And really everywhere you look, there he is. Everywhere you look, there's that brand. There's real legitimacy in that. And Avi, that repeats year upon year upon year upon year because it can be a long decision-making process. It can take a long time to build trust. I remember, you know, we try to show up everywhere as well. We're sponsoring conferences. We're speaking at events. And I remember being knocked back by a client on a job, which is fine. That happens. You don't win them all. And then the conference comes along for the association group for his sector. And I've been invited along as a speaker and I'm sitting at his table. Here I am again. And I'm three champagnes in, about to go and have a dance. So, you know, we're not going away. We're in the industry. That's legitimacy, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You need to be out there. And for us, the growth in the last 4 years, because we follow those principles, it was like 40 years, 40% every year growth.
Yeah.
It's a lot of changes. It's not, it's an amazing journey, you know, but if you follow this mindset and you have the resource to do it, so definitely it's worthwhile, you know, to do it. And I'm a big believer of PR, and I'm trying to educate as well other people for it. Some people, it's suitable for them, and some people it's not because they are too early or they just can't, you know, but some of them are startup, they have to do it. You know, if they don't do it, they will die, you know?
Yeah.
It can be for any business. Like it can be for a big event. And I do think, you know, that your company, yourself and your team helped us to share our vision, you know, to our community, because you have your own community, which is all the journalists and everybody. My community is the creative side of our people, you know. So people that are more creative, I want to share with them my passion, and I want to share with them the thing that I want to do as well for the community. And this is why I think me and my team, you know, like are you know, happy or enjoying this journey to do it. And it's been very good to be with you and to share this message, you know. And it doesn't matter what opportunity you get, you know, even if you spoke about petrol prices, speak about petrol prices, but then go to your direction. Then go to what you want to say, you know. And I have even a very good story that happened to us, that they took us to Channel 9 to the breakfast show, which is now, by the way, I didn't even tell it to you, Tony, Carl Stefanovic is now our client. He comes like every few weeks to the North Sydney store.
Yeah.
Because I told him in the show, I said, man, we're here. Just like if you need something on the show, you're just like going down, you walk 800 meters, we are there, and he's already like, when he's buying presents, so he's doing something more meaningful, I think it was an article that, it was in news.com, something very small about like the reward or pay rise that we gave, or the reward system that we are building to our clients.
Yeah.
And then from there, suddenly I start to get a lot of phone calls from this, ad. And then, hey, can we interview? And then I thought like, they need to come to the store and they going to interview me, and they will take maybe 5 seconds, and this will be it, and can you come to our, studio, in North? I said, yeah, I'm happy to come. And then we implemented the course that you did for us, like I literally sat with Amog, my guy that came to the training with you, and we did it. Maybe it was like 6 months before your training, but we started to memorize. Okay, this is what Tony said, like, okay, what message do we want to transfer? Okay, let's practice. What do you say? What do I say? And then we just practice, and it was really good. It was a very successful, and it's just like this opportunity. You need to jump. You need to be available on the phone.
Yeah.
You're not available. Bang, the opportunity is gone.
I was just going to say that, Avi. I think it's knowing your brand and having your messaging ironed out, isn't it? And then I think it's what you were saying about the timeliness of it. And that's the thing, when something is in the media, there's a timeliness element to it. So it's knowing that we need to make the most of these opportunities and really ride that round of media coverage, isn't it? So
yeah.
And can you give us the scoop of what's Carl's taste in art?
He's actually he cares about his family a lot, So he's all the time doing memories of his journey, with his family and with his new partner. And he's a lovely guy, man. He's a fun guy. It's nice that he's in the community, and he comes not with a suit, he comes with a t-shirt, with thongs, like very laid back, which is very nice, and he's telling you, hey, I'm just not flying to Melbourne, I'm going to interview Djokovic, So I really enjoyed it, and I think you just need to be active with it. And I think what is good as well about good media talent is that you can transfer the message. You just know how to write it, I don't have the skill of the copywriting, which is you need to have this, when you read something, you need to have this copyright skill. And I think Jelena and the team, just like doing it in a very amazing way, and of course as well you, Tony, but it's something that people need to think about in their journey, that if they have the opportunity, definitely it can help to build the credibility or the trust. Another thing that I'm doing, which can give ideas for other businesses, is that I'm telling you guys to promote my clients. So nobody knows it's Fantastic Framing.
Yeah.
So for example, there is like a design magazine. You guys are taking one of my artists, and then my artist is there. And like with the furniture and the sofa and the pillows, like the block, and then people see the artist, and then they buy more things from the artist because they saw him in the magazine, So you can as well do the PR and help your community by helping you.
For sure. And how we do package things, don't we? Like you do have to package in, like that standalone talent does work, but packaging in with key partners, clients, things like that, it really works.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where we've had really good success. So, with Avi, say, opening up his latest store in the Shire, and then it was having a really well-known established local artist that he works with, and really, as you said, packaging that together. We're doing the same thing ahead of the art fair, which is happening later this week in Melbourne. So Avi's always great at putting forward artists that he works with, and we find that they're just really great talent. And I think it's also the visuals of that as well. It's being able to have those beautiful imageries as well that you can share in the pitch too.
Now, Avi, it's been a very tumultuous time in the Jewish community and globally, and obviously it's been distressing for everyone, an unsettling time, and you have done some media on it. I mean, it's difficult to see the future, obviously, and I know it's a heavy topic, but how have you been coping during this period?
Look, it's it's not easy to be that far away from home, especially when you have your family over there. And you saw what happened on the 7th of October, which is a very sad thing. And for me, it was just like to educate people what is going on over there, because there is a lot of things in social media that are easily can take you away to something that is not true, you know? And I think for me, it was just very important to get involved in the community or to get involved in other things that people can know what is happening over there. And yeah, it was a difficult time. It's still, a difficult time, but it's just about, education and about if I can do something over here and I can educate now more people about the reality over there, I did my part and I'm the ambassador, of my community. And this is what I was trying as well to do, like over here, with people, with as well a few times that we have been in the media regarding that, just to try to help and to educate.
But it's a tough decision, though. Like, it's where your heart is. Obviously, it's where, it's your history, where your family is. But business-wise, it's a tough decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
Plenty of people will decide not to be political at all and just get out altogether. But
Yeah.
I guess it's your values and what you stand for, and you're a strong guy. But you see where I'm going? Like, it would be a business decision to be in on that sort of politics or out altogether.
Yeah, when I went to the media, I didn't say, about the name of the company. I didn't want to hide it or something, but I was a concerned citizen, that wanted to create like harmony between people. And I had to do it. I could not sit still and not do nothing. It's burning, in you, especially when your grandmother is from the Holocaust and you have people from your family that passed away during the wars in Israel. And your father is named on someone that passed away, and more than half of my family died in the Holocaust. So I cannot sit still when you hear all of this history, and the history is coming back, So I will not be the guy that's standing from the side and just like watching. So I decided to be active, and I decided to invest a lot of my free time and even time from, taking away from my job, and to get involved. To do good things, and everything was in a good phase to educate and to put the people, because this is what you hear, this is what you heard, and now you hear it a little bit less than in the beginning, because there is a lot of other things, but definitely I'm the type of person that will step forward and try to do what I can do. Each one need to help in what he can help. This is my principles and value regarding that, And
Jelena, that's leadership, isn't it? That's real authenticity. We're in a world in marketing and branding and life, people are talking about authenticity, but I think a lot of people are probably faking it. Really. And there's a lot of fear around authenticity as well. And Avi's saying, well, stuff all that, I'm just going to be myself.
Yeah, completely. I think it's so interesting. I think authenticity, I think that people are really savvy to it now, and they can see when it's very genuine. I think, you are seeing a lot of brands, swinging one way or the other on different issues, whether it's politics, whether it's, a cultural moment. And I think you can see, are they just trying to maybe ride that moment and kind of just gain something for themselves out of it, versus someone like Avi, who, as you said, you didn't necessarily have to do this. It's something that you felt that you needed to do. Your business was not front and center of this story. It was really you as the individual stepping into that leadership role.
Definitely.
Well, good on you for standing for your values and what, and what you believe in. And, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you as well, for helping, with the business and with my personal thing. And I think it's just like you need to be out there, because there is a lot of fake things, and if you surround, as a marketer, you surround the people and you give them, lots of angles that it comes, from email or ads or trade shows, then people trust you more. When people trust you more, they are happy to do the action.
At V&J Menswear, our aim is to offer a holistic approach to dressing a gentleman from head to toe, whether it be for a casual affair, a formal affair like a wedding, whether you require items to be made from scratch, be it tailor-made or buying off the shelf. Our aim is to ensure that not only are you in an ambience that is welcoming and also inspiring, but also our aim is to educate in the process of dressing a gentleman.
Trust and credibility, that's the whole game, Avi. Well, Avi, almost 20 years in business. You've kicked a few goals. I mean, we've had a couple of wines and dinners together over the journey. Not enough. I've heard a few of your personal stories, which are amazing, actually. And so I think we'll have to get you back for some of those. But can you reflect back on some of your bigger moments or prouder moments?
Prouder moments, I think, is that now when you're starting from to do door knocking and you have like 12 store growing every year, like by 40%, you say, whoa, where, we achieved what we achieved. And I'm not saying even I say we, because it's a team. I have a very strong team around me. I have a little bit more experience, so I can guide the boat where to go. But the team that is on the boat pushing it, and we had hard moments, and we had COVID, which was very, very, very stressful. Imagine you have retail stores and your stores are shutting down. People don't remember, but in Melbourne it was one of the longest lockdown in the world. And imagine that you have now a few locations of stores. So there was the ups and there was the downs, but I think you have to have a very strong vision to what you want to achieve. You all the time need to be in a position to how do you going to be improved. You are going to do mistakes. You are going to fall. You are going to have hard moments, But when you have a good vision and you know where you're going, so it can become to be a little bit easier with it, and then you can, when you're doing it after a few years, you start to understand as well the cycles of the year. When I started to you now, and before we had a chat, I spoke to you about Q4, quarter four. The last quarter I'm waiting for the whole year. Like I'm telling the team, guys, quarter four, go out for holiday, recharge, go to Bali, go to Thailand, go wherever you want to go. I need you fully charged, for it, because it's a very, very sensitive time of the year for us. And for me, you have to have the mentality of all the time learning, learning. Don't, keep the focus on, but leave like 10% of learning, improving, and 90% focus at work, Don't be distracted and going away from it, Empower the people. If you want to grow to be 50 employees, 60 employees, you need to empower the people. If they are doing mistake, okay, you did a mistake, okay, let's fix it, let's do it, So I think this is a part of my takeaway for my journey, and I'm very motivated as well for the journey that is going to be, and we have lots of targets and lots of new ideas, which is amazing.
How old are you now?
42.
Have you had a brick wall personally? Have you hit energy slumps, poor motivation? I'm over this.
If I had, you have hard moments, Tony. You have hard moments.
I know, but I'm asking specifically energy slumps. I might be asking for my own benefit here, mate.
Yeah.
Have you run out of gas at different stages?
Look, it does happen, and the more I get older, the more I go and do exercise. If I don't do exercise, I am like, woo! I have to do 2 or 3 times. I have as well an ice bath, which I'm doing, which is very good to shake my brain up. I do want to spend as well more time, with my family, because I work very, very hard and I'm traveling very hard. So I do. And another thing is that I'm trying as well to enjoy with my team, meaning going out with them a lot, to eat very well, to restaurants or to events, And I think this is the thing that are giving me a little bit more power as well, to have a break, to have a holiday.
So you've changed your sort of habits then in order to find more energy, it sounds.
Yeah, 100%. I'm doing like almost 3 years CrossFit, And CrossFit for me, they take so much sweat out of my body, that's like I go out, I'm like, whoa, this was a wake-up call, and you have more energy. You have more energy. Like you have to do it. Yesterday I went for a run 8K. I ran to Bondi Beach, came into Bondi Beach, ran 4K, go into the water, go out from the water, start to walk, put the shirt on, put the shoes on, run back home. After something like this, you're going to feel amazing.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good day. Doesn't matter what will come to me. And I start as well very early. I love to start very early, 5 a.m. or 5:30, even 4:30 a.m., and I have these quiet moments, that I go to the gym, I come back, I eat my breakfast. And I think this is the way I make sure that, I'm all the time full of petrol.
And are you a spiritual guy in your quiet moments?
I wouldn't define me as a spiritual guy, I would say to you maybe 20 or 30%, not like, I do like the spiritual thing, like, the meditation or other things, but I'm more, I would say, analytic, more sociable. I love to be around people. I'm a people person, so I'm enjoying to be next to people. And yeah, this is basically me, like as I am,
Well, you're doing an amazing job. We love having you in our sphere, in our company. It's very motivating working with you, and Jelena and the whole team can speak for that, mate. So congratulations on 20 years of 40% a year growth, would you believe? Check him out, Avi Efrat.
Thank you very much. We had the growth in the past 5 years of 40%, which was a very good journey. We have like a vision to help our community. By helping our community, it helps us. So it's a very good way. And some of our clients, they are so successful that the husband stopped working to help, the wife, because she doesn't keep up, or vice versa, by the way, yeah? Vice versa, because I know a lot of artists that the wife stop, working to manage all the admin, because, like it's a one-man show, in the end. And what we build in Fantastic Framing, it's like an ecosystem. We are like the Amazon of artists. We fulfill orders for gallery and for artists. So whenever they have an order, we are as a logistic company. And this is why we have locations all around Australia. Because if you need, for example, now to frame 2 meter by 1 meter in Western Australia, we have a location in Western Australia. You need in Melbourne, you have in Melbourne. You need in Sydney, you have in Sydney. You need in Brisbane, you have in Brisbane. Even to ship to Cairns. If you ship from Brisbane to Cairns, 2 meter by 1 meter, it's not cheap. But because we opened Brisbane, in the past we had only in Sydney. So the day we opened Brisbane, with the amount of order we sent, it was a win-win situation for the client, for us, for the end consumer, which is good, It's great to see, like, your kids are growing or like a tree growing. So this is how we enjoy here, in FF, Fantastic Framing.
How does the model work? If I wanted to get a store, how does it work?
So we have as well a system in place that we have people that working with us for a year or 2 years or 3 years. Some people want to grow, in the business, or starting to get married, kids, and they want to get more responsibility or more income. And people that are striving or are more motivated to generate more income, and they are suitable to be manager, and they are problem solver. So then there is an option to be a profit shareholder, which means that we open a new location, and if the store is doing well, the manager is doing well. Some people, they fund it alone, and some people, if they work a long time in the company, we are even helping them with the funding,
Okay.
Just like from a goodwill, perspective, So it's not only one person is growing, Imagine that you have now a cup full of water, and then there is many cups next to it, and then you keep pouring water, and then the other cups are starting to be full of water, and then the other cup start to be full of water. And this is the mentality or the mindset, of it. And this is why when you go into the stores of FF, people will be very motivated, as I am motivated.
Fantastic.
You will not go to a McDonald's like, what do you want to order? You know, like, like you'll go to a person that will care about you being happy. And this is the recipe, you know, of the success, you know, of the mindset. There is another avenue, which is a franchise, but it's much more complicated, much more bureaucracy, and people do it. And I'm not saying it's not good, but if you are growing and you want to have less bureaucracy, it can be a model that can help you, and you can take care of your people.
Yeah,
It's all about taking care of the community and taking care of your people.
Well, I have to get some of your artwork for in here because this is just not cutting it, right? Nor is yours, Jelena. But
Yeah, no, mine's not either.
thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you for the next podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
If you're inspired to increase your profile and strengthen your brand, a Good Talent Media story creation meeting could be a great place to start. You'll meet some of our key team members and do a deep dive into your brand's possibilities. We'll give you tools and strategies to implement straight away. Email info@goodtalent.com.au with the title Story Creation to get yours today.